Today, we're going to explain how does globalization shapes our world. Join us as we explore the first four chapters of this journey, diving deep into the heart of globalization. We'll start by tracing the roots of globalization.
Chapter 1: Introduction of Globalization.
Globalization is like a giant river, constantly flowing and shaping the landscape of our lives. It's hard to imagine that our present world without its influence. There are some ways that globalization affects our daily lives. First, on what we eat. Globalization has made our food choices incredibly diverse. We can enjoy mangoes from the Philippines, coffee from Brazil, and spices from India, all in one meal. This global food market also means cheaper prices and more options, but it can also lead to concerns about food safety and environmental impact. Second, on what we wear. Our wardrobes are a testament to globalization. Clothes are made in factories across the world. Using materials from different countries, we can find stylish and affordable clothing, but it also raises questions about our fair labor practices and the environmental impact of fast fashion. Third, how we communicate. Globalization has revolutionized communication. We can instantly connect with people across the globe through video calls, text messages, and social media. This has made the world feel smaller and more connected, but it also raises concern about privacy and the spread of misinformation. Fourth, where we travel. Globalization has made travel more accessible and affordable. We can explore distant lands, experience different cultures, and learn about the world firsthand. However, it also raises issues about over-tourism and the impact of travel on local communities and the environment. Globalization can be a good thing, bringing people together and making the world a more interconnected place. But it can also be challenging, as it can be sometimes lead to inequality and cultural clashes. It is important to remember that globalization is a complex process and its effects are felt differently by different people and countries.
Chapter 2: The Structure of Globalization.
We'll start with the global economy and market integration. Before modern monetary systems, precious metals like gold and silver functioned as de facto currency, facilitating international trade through barter and exchange. The exchange value depended on the agreement between trading parties. The adoption of the gold standard by major Western nations marked a significant step towards formalizing international monetary system. This system linked national currencies to gold at a fixed rate, providing stability and predictability in international transactions. It fostered increased trade, investment, and migration. It emphasized that the gold standard acted as a means that accelerated international trade by guaranteeing a non-inflationary, stable economic and environment. The period of the gold standard coincided with Western powers' expansion of their colonial empires. The colonies served sources of raw materials and markets for finished goods, enriching the colonizing powers while often exploiting the colonized populations. The example of Spain's colonial trade with America demonstrates this unequal distribution of benefits. Technological progress in production and transportation significantly accelerated trade and market integration, fostered more efficient transportation and manufacturing methods, facilitated the movement of goods and services across the borders. World War I severely disrupted the gold standard, weakening Europe economically and politically. The Great Depression of the 1930s further destabilized the global economy, leading for protectionist policies and a retreat from the free trade. World War II exacerbated these issues. Bretton Woods system established in 1944, which replaced the gold standard and aimed to foster closer economic integration among capitalist countries. International Monetary Fund, or IMF, and World Bank, the creation of this institution to monitor exchange rates, lend to nations with trade defects, and provide financial assistance. Membership fees were based on a nation's economic ability, influencing voting power. The US dollar was pegged to gold. $1 is equals to 35 ounces of gold, and other nations fixed their currencies to dollar, creating a stable, albeit US-dominated international monetary system. This system stimulated international trade and financed post-war reconstruction. Next is the global corporation and globalization. Global corporations have roots in colonialism. Early global corporations, like the Dutch East India Company, exploited colonies for raw materials, cheap labor, and markets. These early forms of globalization, characterized by the unequal power dynamics and exploitation in it's described as incipient globalization. The actions of these early corporations, such as establishing trading posts, factories, and plantations, are presented as precursors to the multinational reach of modern global corporations. Global corporations, noting their continued importance in driving globalization. Examples such as Toyota, General Motors, cited to illustrate their enduring presence and influence. These corporations are described as engaging in research and development, investment in new products and services, and resources extraction, all of which facilitate trade and economic interdependence between countries. The structure of globalization is constantly evolving, and its impact on our lives will continue to change. It's important to be aware of its complexities, its potential benefits, and its challenges, so we can navigate this interconnected world with a greater understanding and responsibility.
Chapter 3: A World of Regions.
World of regions in globalization refers to the idea that the world is increasingly divided into regions, rather than just individual countries. These regions are groups of countries that share similar economics, political, or cultural characteristics. For example, regional integration. Countries within a region are increasingly cooperating and integrating their economies, policies, and even cultures. Free trade agreements. Countries within a region reduce or eliminate tariffs and trade barriers to make it easier to trade with each other. Political alliances. Countries within a region might work together on issues like security, environmental protections, or development. Cultural exchange. People within a region share traditions, languages, and ideas, leading to a sense of regional identity. Regional shifts. Regions become more integrated, they can gain greater economics and political power on the global stage. This can lead to shift in the balance of power between different regions. For example of regions: European Union or EU, a political and economic union of European countries with a single market and common currency. North America Free Trade Agreements, a trade agreement between Canada, Mexico, and the United States. ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, example of regions. So, European Union, a political and economic union of European countries with a single market and common currency. North American Free Trade Agreement, a trade agreement between Canada, Mexico, and the United States. ASEAN, a regional organization promoting economic cooperation and cultural exchange among Southeast Asian countries. So, why is the world of regions important to the globalization? So, increased cooperation, regional integration can foster cooperation and collaboration between countries, leading to more efficient trade, shared resources, and common solutions to global challenges. Economic growth. Regional trade agreements can boost economic growth within a region by reducing trade barriers and creating a larger market for goods and services. Political influence. Regions can exert greater political influence on the global stage, advocating for their interests and shaping international policies. So, the world of region is a key element of globalization, shaping the way countries interact and cooperate in the 21st century.
Chapter 4: A World of Ideas.
So now let's talk about what I have learned about the chapter 4 about the A World Idea. So it talks about the deep into how globalization and increasing interconnectedness of contains and culture affects us in profound ways. So let's talk about the power of media. First is cultural homogenization. Western media through movies like Game of Thrones and music like Despacito has huge impact on global culture. This can lead to a blending of culture, sometimes making it hard to maintain our unique tradition. So next is cultural resilience. While Western media is powerful, local culture are strong and adaptable. We see this in the Philippines, where Korean and Indian films are popular, and the Filipino shown are even in Cambodia. So next is the digital divide. So not everyone has equal access to the internet and technology. This creates a digital divide where some people are left behind, unable to fully participate in the benefits of globalization. This is seen in the difference between nowadays high internet access and the lack of it in some Philippines communities. So, the globalization is a complex force with both positive and negative aspects. So, by understanding its impact and taking action, we shape a more just and peaceful world.